All right, hey guys. John and Noah here for today's episode of Card Shop Insiders. John owns a card store. He's been running the business for
6 years.
26 years. I play games. I've been playing games for that long, if not more. And we bring you a podcast where we talk about behind-the-scenes stuff in the card shop. And John's topic today is
the status of Pokemon.
Pokemon TCG, guys. So let's jump in and hear what John's got to say, and we'll wrap around at the end for some MTG news, and then call it a day. What you got, John?
All right. Pokemon right now is at the highest demand that I've ever seen it since I've opened up the store. And I'm going to read some of this stuff as usual. The Pokemon card shortage is due to high demand and low supply, fueled by a resurgence in popularity and scalpers. Now, there was a glut of Pokemon back in August of 2024. And the glut was obvious because the distributors were offering bundled product. They had a whole bunch of Pokemon stuff in their warehouse. And, for a certain amount of flat fee, they would offer this, that, and so forth if you bought these bundles. If you bought 2 bundles, it would be a little less in price. And I know all the distributors did it because they all had extra product. However, in September, everything became short in supply. And that started with the 151 set, and then it just kept going until the, what the hell is it called? The, what's the next one that came out? Just lost
the next Pokemon set?
Yeah, what was the one that... what was a popular one just recently?
The Sparks one?
Surging Sparks, that did it. But then there was the other one that came out.
The Evolution thing?
Evolution.
That was a special set, though.
Yeah, but all right. So Surging Sparks sold out very quickly. Prismatic Evolutions. Yeah, see, I'm old and I lose my trend of thought if I don't write the damn thing down, but that's all right. Surging Sparks really took everything by surprise. Box prices pretty much tripled and everybody was out of them. I mean, nobody could get anything. And just prior to Christmas, I had no stock whatsoever. And then after Christmas, I got a few items in stock and they sold quickly. And, the problem is, I guess the problem is the scalpers. The scalpers have taken over this industry. And I think, the distribution's aware of it. I think Pokemon International is aware of it, but there's not a hell of a lot they can do about it. And, my notes here says Pokemon has become a pop culture phenomenon again. The trading card game is popular. And there's a belief that Pokemon cards can make you rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on. We run a YouTube channel.
Right.
Where we tell people how to sell cards.
Right.
We are supposed to tell them that you can get rich.
No, I'm going to tell them the truth. You're not going to get rich on selling Pokemon cards or any other cards. I mean, you can earn a living. However, you're not going to be rich. I mean, there's no way in hell. To become rich, you have to pretty much hit it right on the head and be the only one that's doing it. However, everybody and their brother is doing this thing right now. They're all buying whatever they can buy. They're stripping cards out of packs and they're listing them on eBay or TCG Player or what's the other? No, not YouTube. What the hell's the other one? Facebook Marketplace. What up or whatever the hell else they come up with. They're flooding the market with this stuff.
Yeah.
Which is eventually going to cause the prices to go down.
And that's how economics works.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, but let's not talk about that. We don't want to talk about like real science.
Well, we don't want to confuse anybody because you confuse the hell out of me sometimes.
I do?
Sometimes.
That's just the big one.
That's why I don't give you my notes in advance because I want to confuse the hell out of you too.
I appreciate that.
All right. Again, low supply. Pokemon right now is in low supply. No distributor has it. I mean, you just can't get it unless you buy it on the internet at inflated prices. And the Pokemon Company has been breaking printing records each year. Scalpers buy up stock using insider methods. Some scalpers use computer programs to buy online stock as soon as it goes on sale. Others use knowledge of distribution schedules to get to stores when inventory is put on the shelf. All right, let me embellish that a little bit. I believe that the scalpers have really screwed up the market, and as a store owner, it's pissing me off. Not because the scalpers are making money. That's fine. It's free enterprise. Let them do whatever the hell they want. But when I have a kid that comes in with his father and he's good at school that week, and the father wants to buy the kid one or two Pokemon packs, and I do not have them to sell to him, I can see the disappointment in the kid's eyes. And to me, it hurts me because I know damn well the scalpers have been scooping up everything, and either they're selling it online, like we talked about, as an entire unit, or they're breaking down the packs and selling them that way as individual cards. So my sympathies with scalpers has I don't have any sympathy for them. When I did have some stock in available, I had people come in and say, "Oh, you got this. I want to buy it all." I said, "No, I'm not selling it to you. I'm not going to sell you all of it." "Well, why not? I'll give you a good price for it." I said, "Look, I have a clientele that comes in here and supports this store month after month after month, and they've been doing it for years. And it's my obligation as a store owner to make sure I have available stock to sell to these people." And I'll go on a little further. Back, let me see, not back, but coming up in March 28th, the new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet 9 Journey Together set coming out. Again, I was already allocated. I'm going to get two elites, trainers, but I'm getting four booster boxes. I am not going to sell a full booster box to anybody. I'm going to break them up, sell them as individual packs. So I'll have 4 times 36, to 144 packs that I'll sell to my customers, and I'm going to limit them to probably 2 to 3 packs per person. And again, if scalpers come in, "Oh, I want that box," no, I'm not going to sell it to them. I'm just not going to do it. And
Well,
I think the younger kids who are just in it for collecting uh, are deserving of it.
yeah.
And Pokemon's going to take a hit in popularity because of unavailable, ability of stock. It's obvious.
I mean,
It's already
maybe.
happening. It's already happening.
What are they buying instead?
They're buying One Piece. They're buying Yu-Gi-Oh. Or they're hoping to get Pokemon,
I
but the
mean,
further it goes, I mean, right now, today today's President's Day for all intents and purposes, because that's what I'm going to talk about today. All right, so what's the 17th today? You have until the 28th of March. That's 5 more weeks before another Pokemon product comes out, and nobody has it. And a young kid is going to get discouraged. They're going to look for something else. They're going to if they're previously into Magic, they're going to go back to Magic. If they started out collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards, they're going to start collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards again.
yeah. I mean, I think that's one thing. I don't know. I think, and I wonder what your thoughts are about the difference between you and some of the really big stores. Like you and I follow some of the big stores on like the internet, and they post videos every day, and they've got full stock of every Pokemon product you could ever want.
Right now,
Yeah.
well, either they're buying it on the secondary market and they have sources that I don't know about, or they've been stockpiling this stuff.
I mean, I think they're getting to buy it from distribution before you are. I think
Probably.
they're getting sold $1 million worth of it when it comes out, and
There's no doubt about it. Yep.
they're the distribution companies are not selling the actual LGSs. I mean, because these mega stores are not an LGS. They don't have the same feel. They might want to try to have like the friendly neighborhood vibe, but they don't have the same vibe as like your LGS or your local like
No,
game place.
I mean they're a well they all they're looking for is profit
Right.
to stay viable as a business,
I mean,
and I can understand that.
their walls look like Target and Walmart. They got a big, huge wall full of Pokemon stuff, and they've got every ETB for the last 11 sets on the wall.
Now, then they took a chance and bought everything at that time, and this is something we talked about, whereby you get priority treatment and
Mm-hmm.
allocations if you buy everything that the distributor has to offer on a current set, even though it's a dog set. You buy everything, you're going to win on certain aspects of that set, and you're going to take a bath on certain aspects of that set. However, to make a long story short, you're buying everything.
Yeah.
And that's all the distributor cares about is getting rid of their stock. Maybe they took advantage of those bundles that came out in August. Uh, that's a very good possibility. Plus, you're talking about big box stores. Big box stores, they run through a distributor, a
Right.
third party distributor. And I'm sure some of the third party distributors have stock because it keeps showing up on the shelves, not in mass quantities, but it still shows up on the shelves. Because well, I've had a lot of customers. I mean, probably between Christmas and now, I've had at least 30 or 35 inquiries, either by people coming into the store or calling, do I have Pokemon in stock? And I said, no, I don't have it. Well, they just had it at Walmart. I said, well, go back to Walmart and get it. However, they say, well, it's already gone. So,
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, I think
what?
distribution is playing
Once a
games.
month, you walk past some guy in Walmart that has 2 shopping carts full of Pokemon cards, and like he just bought it all because he's selling it on eBay.
Oh, see, that's the problem. They have prior knowledge of when this stuff is going to be put up on the shelves.
Yeah.
So they're working in cahoots with somebody that's working at the big box store.
Yeah.
Now, Pokemon made a big mistake, in my opinion, and I've read about other people's opinions. They put it into the warehouse stores. They put it into Costco. They put it into BJ's. They put it into Sam's Club. Now, in order to get those contracts, Sam's Club or BJ's or Costco had to guarantee, hey, I'll buy X amount. I'll buy $2 million worth of product. And somebody at Pokemon Company underestimated the I guess the popularity of some of these sets, but they were already committed to these other entities. So a lot of that stock went that way. Distribution got a little bit less of the stock, which is not fair to the distributors who have been loyal to Pokemon Company all these years. So they're screwing them out of commissions.
They just want to sell their stuff.
I know.
Loyalty's not a thing.
Well, another thing that they're doing is they're putting all these special sets that have stickers in it. You have 6 packs. You got the binder in it. It's got 4 packs and so forth and so on. I think they're coming out with too many SKUs. They ought to just stick with ETBs for now and individual booster boxes and stay with it, because you could sell like I'm going to do. I'm not going to sell full booster boxes
Right.
because I'm not going to get a lot, but I'm going to satisfy my local market by saying, all right, you can get 3 packs of this, and that's all I'm going to sell you.
Well, a lot of the YouTube community that sells Pokemon cards and posts videos about how you can too, they talk about those alternative products as a great source for them to source packs.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, Pokemon's not going to stop making that stuff because it's not sitting on the shelf somewhere. It's getting sold, it's getting opened, and it's
It
getting
is,
resold.
but again, it's they come out with too many SKUs, and the shortage is also due to people ripping packs open. I mean, that's basically it.
It's super popular.
It's super popular, but it's taken it out of the hands of people who are basically collecting, and the younger kids, which really pisses me off that the younger kids are not getting this stuff, and because they're going to lose them. They're going to lose
Well,
them.
they get the stuff. They get $10 mega packs off of eBay that have nothing of super value in it and all of the draft chaff that people want to throw away.
Yeah.
Because these people that are reselling the prime cards on the internet or getting them graded and resold are packaging together 100 random Pokemon cards. I mean, my son got some of those for Christmas from family and friends, and like he was thrilled. He got to go through. He found some stuff that he's never seen before, but he also got a bunch of junk that he knew
Yeah.
was junk.
Yeah. Well, you talked about grading. I think grading has slowed down because the grading companies are overwhelmed. I don't believe they're taking new stuff to come into grading. Or if they are, it's taking a longer time to do so.
Didn't we? Did we talk about the grading scandal?
No.
I gotta see if I can find the details, but apparently there were a bunch of cards that got graded um, recently, and the grading company didn't register them as counterfeits.
Oh, wow.
Um, let's see.
What company was it? Do you know?
All right, I'm reading an article off of Screen Rant. They say that CGC Grading has been accused of authenticating hundreds of cards that were vintage Pokemon cards. However, after investigation, it turns out that the vintage cards were not vintage cards, and that there was some sort of a printing code on the cards that revealed the codes were printed in 2024 and not 1996.
No kidding.
CGC issued an official response and said, "Thank you for reaching out. We're aware of recent statements made online regarding CGC graded prototype and playtest cards. CGC takes these claims very seriously, and we are currently conducting a full investigation. More information is forthcoming."
Wow.
So,
That's a big scandal.
well, and apparently the details that I understood was that um, color printers print a barely visible set of yellow dots or some other like printing anomaly, um, and they basically create the serial number of the printer. And the reason it's there is so that people can track down like the printer to identify like what printer is having an error and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But because it gives you the serial number of the printer, it also tells you like what year the printer was manufactured. And so when somebody submits a card to be graded and they check the card scan, they do like a deep image scan to get this code, and then they see that the printer that it's come from was built in 2024, you know that it didn't print a 1996 Charizard. But apparently this slipped through the quality control, allegedly, at CGC, and is now undermining like all kinds of stuff, not just CGC. Like everybody's super skeptical. I think all the grading companies had to put out statements and say like, "Hey, we check that."
Yeah. I mean, CCG is probably done. If that's the case, they're going to be going out of business.
All right, let's.
Nobody will want to go with them.
Well, I mean, it makes it really hard to do your card grading when you can't believe that it's actually accurate. It's hard to buy the cards too. Like
Yeah.
if you're looking to spend $1,000 on a fancy old card, and then it turns out that it's actually not what is represented to be, like there's a lot of issues with that.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's go back though. I want to talk about Pokemon again for a second.
okay.
So you brought up the big box stores. Did you see the article from a couple weeks ago about the fist fights and the videos from the California Costco?
Yeah. I looked at some of them.
And like the people like running into Costco. I mean,
ripping them out of people's arms and
oh my
everything else.
gosh,
Yeah, I saw that.
so nuts.
Well, you know what happened here in North Carolina at one of the stores. Let me see. I think it was Prismatic Evolution.
Yeah.
It came out on a Friday. However, one of the Barnes and Noble stores in Raleigh put it out on Wednesday.
Oops.
Okay, which a lot of them do. They don't wait. As soon as they get their stock in, they put them out on the shelves. However, there was two guys in line, and the guy in the front gathered everything up. So the guy behind him took offense to it and says, "Hey, I wanted to get some of that stuff. Well, I'm sorry, you're not going to get it. I'm taking it all." Well, they started arguing, and it became a fist fight. and the cops had to be called to intervene. So that's just that's just another example of greed, the scalpers' greed. Not willing to share with the guy behind them. That's stupid. I mean, here's adults.
It's I mean, it's common courturity. It's
But
like if you
yeah,
can't
but
function as a human, then don't.
well, you know how it is when it comes to money. A lot of people they lose their common sense and they act like stupid asses.
Well, that's probably true.
That's interesting, and I'm sure there's been more fights and disagreements over. I I understand some stores won't even carry Pokemon anymore. They stopped carrying
Well,
it.
I'm pretty sure that though Walmart and Mebane stopped carrying Pokemon,
No, I'm talking about regular stores,
like
regular
TCG stores.
TCGs. Yeah,
It's such a sad thing because the game is like so low entry barrier. Like kids can learn how to play it. Kids can play it decently competitive with each other, and they can have a lot of fun. Starter products are playable. You can get tournaments. You can have their organized play program is amazing.
yeah,
um, it's just a really, really sad thing that it's gotten to the point that it is unable to be played and collected in some of the smaller communities. Again, I see and know that the bigger stores that are like have been running Pokemon, they have their 30-person tournaments, they have their 100-person tournaments. Those stores that are running through inventory, they're still getting whatever they want, but they're getting it way before it comes to you on the production tree.
yeah. Well, I don't think we're going to be out of the Pokemon crunch for at least 4 to 6 months. I don't think it's going to happen.
Do you think they're going to actually print more?
They're supposed to, but again, it takes time. You have to buy printing time. I think you bid on printing time, and if a popular set comes out and you say to the printer, "Hey, I'd like to schedule a print run next week," but there's a Magic pre-release product coming out, and they're not going to usurp Magic pre-release. Not if the printer's any has any credibility at all.
Right.
They're not going to do that.
Well, they don't want to lose the
No, they
contract
don't
with
want
the
to lose
bigger game.
Magic, and they don't want to lose Pokemon. They don't want to lose Yu-Gi-Oh. So they're doing the best they can.
That's
And I
crazy.
feel sorry for the printers because they're under a lot of crunch.
Yeah.
And I could foresee there's a lot of cards that are printed overseas or processed overseas. They may be printed here and then shipped overseas to be cut and packaged into individual boosters. But with all the tariffs that are coming out, you're going to see an increase in product. You're going to see an increase, not in only Pokemon, but you're going to see an increase in all supplies because plastics. A lot of the stuff is made in China. A lot of the stuff is made in Japan, and you're going to see increases with the tariffs. I mean, it's inevitable. You see it already in some of the other things.
Yeah. You mean price increases,
Price increases. Yeah.
not stock
No,
increases.
no, no. You
Yeah.
may see a shortage because of it.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to have to see what bears out on that. I know a lot of the companies have been shifting to regionalized printing and domestic printing. They have print shops in the U.S. and Europe and Southeast Asia that are printing. That way, they can cut back on shipping costs, right? Um, but we'll see what they come out with. So, what else you got on
That's
game
it.
news?
That's it as far as Pokemon.
All right, let's talk Magic for a minute. Let's throw another screen share up here. Let's talk Final Fantasy, John. We got big news. Why don't you give us a little quick summary while I pull this up of like what you've heard about Final Fantasy? What do you know?
It's going to be allocated. That's all I know.
That's what John knows.
We do not know how many. I haven't even been able to order it yet.
All right, let's talk Final Fantasy then. So, this is in the future. John says today's February 17th. This article was published February 18th. Oops.
Oh, that's all right. I got my date screwed up.
We're recording it and releasing it when I edit it. So coming in June, Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy. They give us the details here. We've got preview cards. I did not, shamefully, did not play a lot of Final Fantasy, so I'm not going to be able to comment cogently on the significance of these cards in their background. But look, we got cool expansions. Got the symbols here. Cute little Firebird. And then we've got product. So we're going to have play boosters, everybody's favorite product, John.
Yeah.
Followed closely by collector boosters, which you and I have recently taken to opening collector's boosters on the channel.
If I get enough of them, we'll open up one when Final Fantasy comes out.
We gotta start pulling the strings over at distribution. Tell them YouTube needs it.
Like I said, it's going to be allocated.
Tell them YouTube needs it, man. All right. Then we've got collectors, or not collectors. These are regular commander decks.
All right.
Okay. There's 4 of them. They feature fancy characters that everybody else knows. Let's see. We got Cloud. I know Cloud and Terra and Titus. And then I don't even know how to say that. Ishulta. I don't know. Accidentally visual search there. All right. Then here's the exciting news, John. Collector's Edition Commander decks again.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff is going to be hot.
I've already gotten requests from 3 people. They want a set of collectors already.
The full set of 4.
A full set of 4.
Okay.
Because I'm not breaking them up. I'm not going to.
You're not going to split these up?
Nope.
Just the collector's ones or the regular ones?
The regular ones I'm going to sell as individuals or as a set. However, the collectors, I'm not breaking them up. Because people will want the most popular one.
I know you don't have to commit to pricing right now, but give me a range. How much is a full set of collectors commander decks going to cost? Is it $1,000?
No, it's not that high. It's probably around $650. But again, it depends how many. Well, it depends how much they charge me. I don't know yet.
That's why I said we're not committing to a price, but just I wanted to get an idea. Like we're talking.
Well, just judging by the other set, it's around $650.
What was the last time we had collectors commander decks?
I've got a set up.
Horizons?
Hold on one second. Let me look. It is
MH3.
MH3. I got a full set of collectors decks over there.
Okay.
Modern Horizons 3.
And what did those sell for?
I believe they were around $650 at the time. $670, $680. I don't know. I don't remember. And I don't have access to the inventory right this moment, so I'm not going to look it up.
I'm going to Google it. All right. The collector's edition, the set of 4 on eBay for those is right now selling for $500 to $600.
What's for what? MH3?
MH3.
All right. What about, is there any pre-sales on Final Fantasy yet? That'd be interesting.
Final Fantasy, no. I mean, they just released the article like while I was driving over there.
Well, I'm sure that they're going to be up there.
It'll be up there fast, right?
Yeah, probably.
All right, back to our screen share. So we got collectors, commander decks. Then we got bundles. You said the bundles for this Aether set have been valuable and popular.
The one that the special one, that was my chair. This special one. I guess it was called Finish Line or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I had 12 bundles and they sold out quickly, and they were $100 a piece.
So is the gift bundle going to be similar to that, or is
probably
because we have a regular bundle and that has 9 play boosters, but then here you can see on the screen we have gift bundle and it says includes collector's booster. That could be exciting.
Click down on it and let's say.
Click down on what?
Where do you see where it says?
Is it not on your screen anymore?
Oh, I see. Yeah, it is. Well, now it's
that one?
Collector booster. However, the other one, the Aether Drift, had 2 collector boosters in it, plus the box topper.
Yeah. And the box topper was a big deal.
Yes.
And then we got starter kits, the ever popular starter product.
Mm-hmm. That'll do well.
That'll do well because it's kind of cool. And it's got players there.
Anything relating to Final Fantasy is going to do well.
Then we got pre-release packs.
Now, pre-release packs, I should be able to get my normal 8 cases. 8 cases equates to 15 per case. So what is that? 120, something like that, right? 100, I don't know, 15 times 8. Yeah, 120. Yeah. 120 pre-release kits, which is good. We'll have a good turnout for it. However, any pre-release kits that I have left, I'll strip them open, use them as individual packs, or I'll use them as um, packs that I open for single cards. Because the good thing about the pre-release kit, I always get the promo card,
Yeah.
and the promo card could be worth a substantial amount of money. So economically, it makes sense for me to open up some of those. That's why I order more.
Yeah, that's a good product. We've got a video that will drop later this week with some pre-release opening and your thoughts on that
Pre-release opening for
for Aether Drift.
Aether Drift. Yeah, I mean, that was a good set.
We ripped some of those.
Yeah.
All right, keep going down this article real quick. Fancy stuff people can look forward to. Fancy cards, saga creatures. This is exciting for people that play the game, John. You'll be able to get them in all your different booster packs. Double faced cards. That's cards that have stuff on both sides and flip back and forth. Those are exciting. Those make printing hard. I hear they started that with Innistrad and then they stopped it for a while because it was hard.
So let me ask you a question. Since they're probably foil cards, are they going to be bent on both sides? So if you turn one way, it's going to curl one way, and you turn it the other way, it's going to curl back. That'd be interesting.
That depends on how they do it. If I remember correctly, some of the cards they didn't foil both sides previously, and then they started having to figure out how to double foil, and it was complicated. Then they did Innistrad like double feature, and that came out with a new double-sided printing thing. And now they've recently done remastered where they have double-sided foils. So maybe we should check some of those.
The good thing about
You've got one,
yeah,
from the collector's box.
The good thing about all these variations in cards is that they're hard to duplicate as far as counterfeiting.
Yeah,
I mean that's the good thing that's coming out, and Magic is doing a good job. Yeah, you get the cards that curl up every once in a while, but if that's the worst thing that can happen to you, put them in a sleeve, you put them in under a book for a couple of days, and they usually go back. They usually go back to being flat, or the sleeve will hold it in place.
So I know how much you love all the different finishes we can get on the cards here, John.
That drives me nuts.
So we've got party time finishing here, man. There's double-sided cards. There are full art cards. There are borderless characters. There are wood block cards. Look at this art over there on the right. Wood block. That's pretty nifty. Oh, look at that. Jumbo Cactuar. That looks like fun. What else do we have? We have Through the Ages, brings back magic. I don't know what's in there. Dragon of Mount Gulg. The Ancient Copper Dragon. So this is like, what are those things called that we get on about? The fancy sets?
Huh?
Secret Lair. This is like the Secret Lair cards. They also started this with the Godzilla set where they'd reprint an old card.
Right.
They'd name it with an IP specific name, but then it's mechanically the same as an old card. So like Dragon of Mount Gulg is the Ancient Copper Dragon, which is a popular card. You got a Yuriko of the Tiger's Shadow over there.
Yuffie Kisaragi?
Kisaragi? Yeah. Yuki, man. Yuffie. I probably said that wrong.
How many cards are in the set? Did they say?
How many cards are in the set?
Yeah.
Let's everybody prepare for motion sickness. We'll jump up to the top. They say the set features the largest collection of Final Fantasy artwork ever. 100 legendary creature cards, 55 legendary borderless character cards. I don't know.
It's 155?
Well, there's more than 155 cards. Let's see if it's in this box down here. Yoink. Legality, website. I don't know. I'm sure it's in there somewhere.
Well, suppose it's 500 cards.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee you that before everything is said and done, it's going to be over 1,500 cards in the inventory of all different kinds of variations. What?
More great news.
Yeah.
Secret Lairs to go with the Final Fantasy IP are going to be coming this year.
Are they going to be available to stores, though?
Yeah, if you get on and buy it for regular price.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. They're not going to let it come through regular distribution. They're going to do their own distribution of it.
Well, their own distribution is better for them. All right, that's
Greedy,
our
greedy bastards.
that's our magic news. Hot new magic stuff. Did we have any other stuff before we jump into our off-topic things? Oh, crime. We have a crime article.
Okay.
2 men were charged in Melbourne over multiple breaking and enterings. They broke into Cherry Collectibles, Good Games Greensboro, Sunshine Collectibles, and more, all reporting theft and vandalism.
In Greensboro?
No, what did I say?
You said
Melbourne.
Yeah, I thought you said Greensboro too.
No, it was
Melbourne, where? Florida or Melbourne? Yeah, I mean Australia.
It's Australia because all of the prices, all the values are reported in Australian dollars.
Okay.
So Australia's in on the crime and punishment for TCG stuff. That was a recurring segment for a little bit for us.
That's unfortunate that people have to resort to stealing because ultimately they're going to be found. Hopefully, prosecuted.
Hopefully. I mean, sometimes the greatest of thieves, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk transition segue. Guys, go back and watch early episodes of the show to find out our commentary on the word segue. John,
What?
President's Day was yesterday.
Okay.
I have a strong feeling, because I use the Force, that you have something to share with us about President's Day.
About President's Day. However, I'm going to do the Snapple thing first.
Snapples.
Okay.
All right.
Snapple fact number 1349. What's the national animal of Scotland?
Chipmunk.
A unicorn.
That's not an animal.
Wait a minute. It's a mythical animal, typically represented as a horse with a single straight horn projected from its forehead. Why is the national animal of Scotland a unicorn? It may seem unusual that the national animal of Scotland is a mythological creature, but the unicorn has been an enduring symbol throughout history. Many believe that unicorns were living creatures. In Celtic mythology, unicorns are believed to symbolize purity and power. The legendary creature symbolizes bravery, strength, and determination, which may be why it was chosen as the national animal. It's not just a symbolic in Scotland. The influence of unicorns is everywhere, from social media to film and fashion. There's also a National Unicorn Day, which is celebrated on April 9th. Now, I looked, again, that's how I got a little bit more of the information. I looked at unicorns in Scotland. There's a lot of buildings that have unicorns as statues on their buildings. I thought that was a cool fact.
Did you know that there is a unicorn in the world? It's called the narwhal.
No.
The narwhal is the unicorn of the sea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's got a tooth that sticks out the front of his head like a big giant unicorn.
It sounds like Bucky Beaver.
You've never seen these things?
I think I did, but I don't remember.
There's a whole kids comic book series that has a narwhal as the main character.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, because you spent a lot of time in the kids comic book section.
My kids were younger, or my grandchildren. I don't know. All right. Now, here's another.
John was at Barnes & Noble when they had a fight about some Pokemon cards. He was sitting in the kids department reading comic books.
Wouldn't be the first time. Snapple fact 1411. There are more stars in the sky than grains of sand on Earth. True or false?
I'm going to go with true.
Yeah. According to most estimates, and this blew me away, there are significantly more stars in the universe than grains of sand on Earth, meaning there are many more stars than sand grains, even when considering all the beaches and deserts on the planet. Some calculations suggest that there could be 10,000 stars for every grain of sand on Earth. Yeah. On a clear night, you might see about 6,000 stars in the sky, but there are actually trillions of stars in the universe. Visible stars. On a clear night, you may see, like I said, 6,000. However, pollution from cities can limit the number of stars visible to a few dozen. Stars in the Milky Way, our galaxy, the Milky Way, contains more than 200 billion stars.
Wow.
Stars in the universe. Astronomers estimate that there are approximately 200 billion trillion stars in the observable universe. This is based on the number of stars in a typical galaxy, 100 billion, multiplied by the number of galaxies in the universe, 2 trillion. I mean, I just find that to be absolutely unbelievable. I never knew that. Did you know? I mean,
It's just a lot, man.
Yeah.
That's like an incomprehensible number. First of all, a billion trillion sounds like a number that was made up in a kindergarten class. Second of all, like it's not made up in a kindergarten class, and it is so many, like I can't even register that.
Can you imagine when you went to the beach and you had sand in your shorts?
I try not to do that.
Well, and yeah, you probably had sand in your shorts. Can you imagine for every sand granule, there was 10,000 stars in your pants?
I mean, that'd be a little bit warm. Gotta be at the beach in Alaska if we're trying to do that.
All right, there we go.
John,
Presidents. Yeah, I got to digress a little bit.
what a mess.
It's
For
fun.
those that are new to this show and have not heard this before, at the end of our shows, John and I like to talk about non-card gaming and game store related topics. We usually call it our 3 E's, where we educate, enlighten, and entertain. Today we skipped the introductory language for that, and John has hit you with a Snapple fact, which is an old tradition on the show.
2 Snapple facts today.
Double Snapple facts,
Yeah.
which is a big deal because we haven't Snapple fact in at least a month. But now we're on to the presidents, and we are talking about the presidents of the Gulf of America.
What? No.
What?
The presidents of the United States.
Right.
Not
And
the
we-
Gulf of America.
we claim the Gulf of
America. They didn't reside in the Gulf of America.
No, but we've claimed it. It's ours.
With the red, white, and blue Greenland.
Yes. Hey, did you hear Denmark offered to buy California? I think they might do it.
That'd be hysterical.
I mean, if there was a state that the current presidency was likely to actually sell, it's California.
Would it be up to the president? Would it be up to the governor? Or would it be up to Congress to do? I guess Congress would have to approve it.
To sell California?
Yeah.
It would have to be some sort of a Congress-approved treaty, right? Last time we bought land, we had to get it approved as a treaty between us and, France or Spain?
Well, we need all this money if we sell Canada or sell California because we're going to have to buy Canada.
Wait, what was the last?
That's not going to happen
land?
either.
Man, we're in deep trouble with the internet now. Tell us about President's Day.
It's everything we read, I mean,
Tell us about President's Day.
All right. President's Day. Facts about President's Day. It honors more than one president. President's Day was originally meant to celebrate George Washington's birthday, which is February 22nd. Over time, it evolved to recognize Abraham Lincoln, born February 12th, and eventually became a day to honor all U.S. presidents. It's officially called Washington's birthday. Despite being widely known as President's Day, the federal government still officially calls it Washington's birthday. The name change happened because of marketing and state-level variations. The date isn't fixed. Instead of celebrating Washington's birthday, the holiday falls on the third Monday of February each year, thanks to the Uniform Monday Holiday Act of 1971, which aimed to give workers more 3-day weekends. Some states celebrate differently. Not all states call it President's Day. Some states still focus on Washington, Lincoln, or other historical figures. For example, in Alabama, it's officially Washington and Jefferson's Day. Naturally, it's a big sales and retail sales event. Like many holidays, President's Day is famous for huge sales, especially on furniture, cars, and appliances. It's one of the biggest shopping weekends of the year. And no mail and bank closures. Because it's a federal holiday, banks, post offices, and government offices are closed. However, most businesses remain open. And schools use it for educational purposes. You said that schools were open yesterday?
Yeah.
They use it to teach students about U.S. presidents, their contributions and historical events tied to leadership. So that's it for President's Day. Interesting
Okay.
facts, though.
This is ridiculous. The last land that the United States government bought from something else was in 1944. We bought something called Water Island from Denmark.
Water Island?
Yeah.
Where the hell is that?
It's in the East Asian. It says it's in the Virgin Islands.
Oh, it's probably was used as a military base.
It's 2 miles square.
Yeah, it's probably a military base, right? Does it say what's on it now?
Nothing.
Nothing's on
I
it?
think it's empty.
We can use that as a bargaining chip with Denmark when we want to buy Greenland.
It is called a small city. Yeah. By Greenland. Yeah. No.
Why are we digressing like this today with stupid stuff?
I'm just saying. We bought it. We paid cash for it. $10,000.
God, I could have bought that.
I was going to say, like, that's like a viable thing, right? The previous time we bought something like actually useful was also we bought another section of the Virgin Islands from Denmark for $25 million. And then before that, we bought Guantanamo from Cuba.
Okay.
Anyway, we can get really deep on this stuff. It's kind of fun. All right. Ladies and
I'm
gentlemen,
sure
folks,
in future episodes, with the way the politics are going now, and I'm not going to get into politics.
we don't do politics.
It's going to be very interesting in the months to come to see what's going to happen as far as the future of Greenland, the future of the Panama Canal, and whatever. It's going to be interesting.
We are so used to things being the way they are that people get upset when anybody talks about things being different. Just saying. All right, let's wrap this up. Patrons. We have patrons, John, and we like our patrons.
All right, so we cut the other video already? You're going to cut it?
No, I'm going to say thank you. We got to do our thank you at the end of our regular podcast.
Oh, I haven't been doing this for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we don't have a script today.
I forgot.
John got confused. All right, let's see. We got Michael, Brian, Jacob, Drayden, Logan, Brandon, Grant, and Benjamin. Thank you for being our patrons. These folks support us on Patreon. You can do this too. Patreon allows us to pay the cost to have the editing software and other things that make it possible for us to do our podcast. We enjoy doing this, and one of the benefits of being a patron is you get a behind-the-scenes video, which is what John was talking about a second ago. We will keep talking after we say goodbye to the YouTube episode, and that will be included in a behind-the-scenes video. So thank you, patrons, for supporting us. And if you're not yet a patron, consider doing it. If not, like and subscribe to our videos and tell us what you think about it and what you'd like to hear more about in the future. John, final thoughts before we close it out?
It was a great episode today, guys. I appreciate it, you listening to us. Hopefully you listened through the whole thing.
It would be nice. We'll talk about those numbers in a second.
Okay.
All right. Till next time.
Arrivederci, baby.